What's going on?
There it is. We're here. We're here. How's everybody doing? Well, right now it's, Welcome to Ordinary Effort. We're a bunch of random fans get some random baseball players and try not to biff the grid. We're on our second live stream, and we've got a special guest with us tonight.
Yeah, Bryce, man, we had a blast recording the episode with you, and this is a blast to come back. So if you don't know Bryce, he's the host of MLB Hall of Good. Bryce, what's going on, man?
Not much. I'm a little sad the baseball season's over, but as a lifelong Red Sox fan, I'm a little bit happy. I can't lie, but also happy to be here and do this with you guys because it's always a ton of fun.
Yeah, JT, man, I feel you. JT says, "What's up from a sad Yankees fan?" I mean, we got to talk about it just for a sec. Like that. I mean, I'm a Yankees fan. I'm not shy about that. I mean, hats off to the Dodgers. They're an incredible team. I mean, if I can take my fandom out of it, they're just incredible baseball, incredible postseason. But that inning yesterday where the Yankees crumbled was just like absolutely miserable to watch. Yeah, JT, I mean, you hit it. Mental errors, the whole nine. But also a killer postseason, just like great drama throughout.
Definitely. I think this postseason really showed, though, that to win in the MLB, you need to spend money. Like, it works. And that's something that the Red Sox have struggled to do lately. But you look at the Mets, Yankees, Dodgers, they all spend money. I know we've all heard it a million times, especially with the Dodgers. But if you go out and acquire these star players, it leads to success. I think this postseason really showed it.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to have, Ohtani, Betts, Freeman at the top of your lineup. It doesn't hurt to have Ohtani on a $2 million a year contract with $8 million deferred. I mean, I feel like that contract is like going to break baseball because I think with now you're going to see Soto. I can't imagine Soto's contract being full, I can't imagine it not having a substantial amount deferred. And I think this is just what we're going to see going forward with all these like elite level superstars.
Yeah, without a doubt. I am really happy. I saw it in the chat too from JT. I'm really happy that Shohei did get a ring, though. I hate to see him end up like a Ken Griffey Jr., like a generational player who never got that far, or even a Mike Trout and even Bryce Harper right now, two legends who have no rings right now. So it is good that he got it.
The thing with Harper that I find amusing, and I say this as a Mets fan, so take it with a grain of salt, but remember in his press conference when he signed with Philly and he's like, oh, we're going to bring a championship back to DC, and then he corrected himself, and then the Nationals won that year. I thought that was poetic, if nothing else. You're like, bring it to DC. I'm gone. And then they won it immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it'll be a jam-packed off season. I feel like we're in store for another. I mean, like similarly, how everyone was sort of waiting to see where Shohei went for the big moves to happen. It's going to happen all over again with Soto. Yeah. I mean, Mike, we were just looking at the winter meetings are in December. Like by the time the winter meetings came a couple of years ago, Judge was like the big signing that was already kind of like trickling out. So, I mean, I think, Soto will probably wait as long as he can because of Boris, but it's going to be wild. Like throw it in the chat where you think he ends up. I do think he ends up being a Dodger. I hope I'm wrong. I
You
really
think
hope I'm
Soto's going to go to
wrong,
the
but
Dodgers?
I just think like
Ugh.
it's such a smart organization. They signed Teoscar for 1 year, 23 mil, right? So he's off the books. So you already like have an outfield position you have to fill. And I think we were looking up the other day, like Joe Kelly is off the books and he makes 8 million. Like
That's crazy.
there's no, I mean, I don't know how they gave Joe Kelly, no offense to Joe Kelly, but I mean, that's 31 million right there. I mean, so you're talking about like, okay, run it back and add what if Soto gets 50 million a year, like what 17 million a salary? Like the Dodgers probably want to do that, you know?
Yeah. By the way, I don't think that's a knock on Joe. I feel like it's a lot for most relievers that are not
it's true
closers. Like you don't see a lot of guys getting that kind of money as like a setup man or middle reliever.
Yeah.
I think Joe Kelly, he often gets paid based on his stuff because his pitches look amazing. The numbers aren't always quite there, and I mean he's a good guy to have on your team. He'll fight for you. He did it with the Red Sox, but yeah, I think he gets paid based on his stuff. Really.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be like anything, right? There'll be like some mystery team that emerges. I think the thing with Soto, I mean, we can get to some grids soon. Is just you don't know what he wants. Like you don't know, is he East Coast, West Coast? Like he's already won a ring. Like, how important is that to him? Like it's hard to say, but definitely going to be interesting to follow. Like,
wouldn't it be hilarious if the Nationals stepped up and just re-signed him?
Yeah,
they have his brother. His brother's in the system.
Oh,
yeah.
Didn't he? Wait, didn't his brother? Am I thinking of the wrong set of brothers, or is this? Because I know the Mets have Acuna's the younger Acuna brother.
Yeah.
But I thought that when Juan Soto's brother was initially going to sign, there were reports, and I might be remembering this wrong, but there were reports that he was signing with the Mets, and then those got walked back, and they were like, "Nope, just kidding. He's signing with the Nationals." And
could be.
I could be wrong, but I feel like I remember something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. If he goes to the Dodgers, I don't like. They're already a juggernaut. I don't. But it seems like things are lined up for that to happen, and I'm not here for it. Like I don't want that.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be interesting, but yeah, Zin, what's up? Good to see you. I mean, you're probably right. Like Soto probably maybe he doesn't defer like Ohtani did, but yeah. I mean, all right, we're here to grid, right? So like we I mean, Mike, go for it.
Speaking of the Dodgers, we thought we'd do a Dodgers grid. Tonight.
Yeah. I mean, we threw in the poll. So if you don't follow us on Instagram, I mean, I know like mixed people come to this. Love if you threw a follow to us. Ordinary Effort on Instagram. We threw a poll in yesterday just to see like, do people want an all-team grid, an all-stats grid, a mix? I'll say Mike and I love the all-team grids, but when we had Adam from Baseball Reference on, he told us they're the least popular grids people play. That like the viewership or the usage of the grid tanks when it happens. But you guys all voted all team, so I was thrilled. We figured it was only fitting to throw the Dodgers on there, like Mike said.
Yeah, I think the term Adam used was bad for business.
For business. Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. Nonetheless, we're gonna do it. I mean, so just to like go through what we got on the grid, if you're listening to it, we got on the left Mariners, Dodgers, Cardinals, and then on the top A's, Giants, Nats, which obviously could be Expos too. And this is grid 413. Mike, maybe just like give some context. So if you didn't come to our first live stream, like there's a little bit of a delay because of YouTube. So we're going to fill this grid out and we'll let you know what box we're on. And we'll definitely take your shouts. Like we want you guys to guess with us. And oftentimes we're going to go with like the chat consensus. But if it seems like we're not responding right away, there's just a little bit of that delay.
Yeah. And to that point, with anyone who was on the first live stream, we did a couple different segments. We did an Immaculate grid, then we did an Infinite grid, and then we wrapped up with a subpar timed grid where we biffed like right away. we're just gonna kind of let this breathe. We're gonna do one grid tonight. So if you see a box that stands out to you, you want to throw it in the chat now. I mean, we're gonna. It'll be obvious if you're watching on screen, which box we're on. I'll kind of highlight each one as we go. But if you've got a name that you want to drop, by all means, like we're gonna take a lot of the chat into account as we fill this out. Where do you guys want to start?
Bryce, you're the guest, man. Where do you want to start?
Let's go ahead and start at the top left with A's and Cardinals right up there.
Okay.
Nice. I like it. So if you're watching, throw your A's, Cardinals guesses in the chat. I've got a guy to throw out at the beginning here, and it's a shout out to one of our followers. Chuck, one of our followers, is telling me he likes to put the Alou brothers anytime he can. And Matty Alou actually works here. After he told me that, I just scoured their pages because he told me that he can fit one of them on almost every single grid, and that was just really funny to me. But he's an option, but obviously there's some other ones too.
I was thinking Stephen Piscotty, and it looks like JT threw that in the chat too, so that's a good call.
Yeah.
And then Sonny Gray now fits here, right after playing with the Cardinals this season.
With these team grids, I really like to use relievers a lot. I see Octavia Dotel. He's always an Immaculate grid legend.
Yes.
Somebody else that came to mind, he was an all-star, a bit under the radar. Pat Neshek, I believe, spent time with both of these teams.
I remember him with the Cardinals. I don't remember him as well. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't remember him as well with the A's.
Yeah, if somebody in the chat wants to fact check me, I'm pretty sure he spent some time in Oakland.
Speaking of the chat, we got some good ones. I'll see some familiar names. Good to see you, Justin. So we got, let's see, Zinn called out Orlando Pena for this box. It's a great one. Isringhausen, we mentioned. JT is right, 300 save club for sure. Yeah, people said Dotel, Piscotty, Lester.
Lester is a good guess. He was in that Cespedes trade. I think he ended his career with the Nationals, which could also work later too.
Oh, yeah.
People forget about that little stint there at the end.
So we've got Matty Alou. We've got some of these guys thrown out in the chat. Mike, go for it. You're going to say something.
No, I feel like Lester came up on the grid we did, the first grid we did together. I think he came up in conversation with the Nats box. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's not the first time John Lester played for the Nationals crossed my stream of consciousness. I think it might have been with you, Bryce. But yeah, I mean, oh, yep. And then obviously Mark McGwire.
Yeah.
How do we not call that one?
I mean, I don't know how we didn't mention that. Good call, Nate.
Right.
I'm good. I'm good with a bunch of those. I do think Matty Alou would score pretty well just because he's lesser known, I think, of the Alou, but a little older. But also there's some great ones there. I like the Orlando Pena shout. Piscotty's great too. I mean, what do you guys think?
Piscotty is a good one. I do like Dotel as well. I don't know. These are a lot of good guesses right here.
I know.
Let's
narrow it down to 2 or something like that.
Say.
And I know there's a delay, but we'll narrow it down to 2 and let the chat kind of figure it out. What do you think? Maybe Alou and Piscotty?
Yeah, I'm down with that. I think get an old school name on there.
So if you're, just comment Alou. Or, I mean, again, we'll say this again. There's a ton of good guesses here, so thanks for throwing them. We could do a grid one day. We'll throw every one of these guys, but just for the sake of it, let us know if we should throw Piscotty or Alou, and we'll do it. Looks like Nate's in on Alou. Michael, we got Piscotty in there too, and it's going to be a tie. So we're just going to,
Biscotti.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah,
I do agree though, Jeff. That's a good point. I think Piscotty might be a higher rarity. Because he's just a lot more recent, and I think those are the only 2 teams he played for. I could be wrong, but I feel like
at the major league level,
right. Yeah. So
let's do Alou. Alou. I mean, obviously, I really a shout out to our follower who mentioned him, but
All right, Matty Alou, 0.3% hidden
gems.
Nice. Beautiful.
Nice.
Awesome. All right. What do you want to How do you want to do this? I mean, we got Dodgers on there because of the World Series. You want to move our way down or go across? Or...
Yeah, we could do that. Let's go down Dodgers A's.
All right.
The first name that pops into my mind is Mark Ellis, a super underrated second baseman.
Oh,
Long time with the Oakland A's. I feel like people don't remember that little time with the Dodgers towards the end. Obviously, you have Blake Trinan as well, if we want to get super modern.
Trinan also fits, I think, for the Nats here too, right?
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a name.
John X.
Yeah, that's a really good shot there. Oh, Steve Sachs. I kind of think about him a lot for Yankees, Dodgers. That's a good one too. When the Dodgers made the World Series this year, and then of course with the like Freeman home run, I was trying to go back to that '88 team because it was like well before I was born / watching. Obviously, I was trying to figure out like who were the guys in that team. Don Sutton was 43 years old and on that team. He didn't make the World Series roster. He has, you go to Baseball Reference, he has no postseason stats for that year, but he did play for the A's and the Dodgers, so he's a possibility.
Another one that comes to mind is Brandon McCarthy. Yep. I think pitched for both teams, and he pitched for the Yankees too, didn't he? McCarthy.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe
sounds
so.
familiar.
Yeah, he played with a few teams, I think. Cody Ross is a good one. JT, that's a good call.
I really love the Scott Kazmir guess. He's one of my favorite pitchers.
That is
ever.
a good.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Scott Kazmir, any mention of Scott Kazmir hurts me.
It looks like it hurts Joe too, just to call out like people are struggling with Kazmir in the chat.
Joe, are you a Mets fan? Are we inferring correctly here? Yeah. Oh, that is a good one. Because didn't Kazmir also pitch for the Giants?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He might be better for the Giants because I believe that was just a little tiny stint.
Yeah.
And that was the last thing he ever did. And it was very towards the end. He was kind of done at that point. We could also use Rich Hill, of course. If we were truly stumped. Not that I recommend it.
Rich Hill probably fits like 6 of these boxes. Actually, he might. No.
So does Ricky Henderson, actually. I think he fits A's Dodgers and A's Mariners. I'm going to give a low plug here. If you're on Twitter or X, there's an account, Immaculate Ricky, that we don't know the person, but I find every one of their tweets absolutely hilarious. They, if you've never followed them, they tweet every day whether or not Ricky Henderson fits on the grid, and they're legitimately devastated when he doesn't. So he'd be happy that Ricky fits a couple boxes here. Maybe we should just like review the chat. I mean, there's some great chats here, like John Axford. Yeah, okay, so JT, you threw Ricky back a little bit ago. Steve Sachs, Piazza, it's a good one too. Dick Williams from Zinn. I mean, that's the name. I don't know. Zinn, like, drop us a little more about Dick Williams because it sounds like a great shout. What's up, David McCullough?
Oh, hey, Dave.
From 1988 Tops. So go follow that podcast. Amazing show. And he's saying Alfredo Griffin.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. That's it. I remember the name. I wouldn't have pulled the teams for Griffin. That is a good one.
Yeah.
I must say I'm a big fan of the Tops podcast as well.
Yeah,
it's very good.
Tops, awesome.
Should we pull a card here? Like, okay, Hall of Fame manager Dick Williams, but David, the Tops episode we just released. So if you haven't checked that out, if you subscribe to us on YouTube, you'll see the Tops episode we just released. It's a really good one. I kind of want to throw Alfredo in there to give David a little shout.
I'm down with that. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good names here.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones here. We'll put Alfredo in and then go listen to Tops, 1988 Tops podcast.
0.9%.
Go. Awesome. Thanks, David. And again, some great shouts here. So
coincidentally, I had Alfredo sauce for dinner tonight. So very fitting. I'm not kidding. I actually
oh man, that's delicious.
With meatballs. Yeah. Okay.
All right. A's Mariners.
So Ricky fits here too.
He does.
Yeah.
A's Mariners.
Ooh, Abraham Toro. Am I remembering that right? I mean,
Yes.
I don't think he's going to be the best scorer here, but
I mean, it's not a
he
bad
does
one.
work.
I kind of struggled with this one, trying to think it through, honestly.
Yeah.
I know Fernando Rodney played for the Mariners? Did he play for the A's?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he played
Okay.
for at least 10 or 11, maybe more teams. Like he's another sneaky. Well, I don't know if he's sneaky, but he's one of those like emergency grid guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Got some good names in the chat here.
Bill North, Kevin Mitchell, Stan Javier, Jose. I mean, these are. Oh, John Jaso. I remember Jaso on the Pirates, and I know he paid. I remember him on the A's too. I forgot about him on the Mariners.
Yeah, it's a good
call,
shout,
JT.
JT.
Who could forget his dreadlocks on the Pirates? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Zin has been dropping some like absolute gems, and I feel like we haven't respected them. I mean, I'm going to butcher this name because I don't.
Bruce Bochy, or is that a different? Wait, is that
so? Because Bochy's it's a different spelling. So I mean, unless
right.
It's a different.
It is a different person.
So I gotta be honest. I don't know this player.
I don't either.
So I mean, not that means it's going to be great, but it's probably going to be great. So that's an option for sure.
Oh, Pat Bendit, the ambidextrous pitcher. That's another good one.
Yeah,
wow.
We got Justin called out Goose. We say that. That's a great one. I try to use Goose a good amount on the grid.
It's pronounced Bhakti.
Okay.
Bhakti.
Bruce Bhakti. 100% would have thought you meant Bruce Bochy and would have guessed Bruce Bochy and Biff.
Yeah, this is why we're ordinary, Mike.
I mean, this is what we do. We just got to stay ordinary when you're ordinary. So, I mean, you want to throw Bruce Bhakti on here?
What do you think, Bryce?
I like it. I mean, I haven't heard of him. I can't lie.
We're here to learn. We're here to learn.
Zin, great shout, man.
All right,
let's throw Bruce
1%.
That's,
we'll take it.
I mean, maybe we're just morons, but a lot of people are throwing Bruce on there. I thought that was a hidden gem for sure, but hey, we'll settle for 1%.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take that. Let's go. You want to go across the bottom here, Mariners Giants?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Giants Mariners.
Go
for it.
Did Sergio Romo have a stint in Seattle? I know he pitched for the Twins, and I know I don't know. I believe he pitched for the Marlins. I believe he also might have pitched for the A's, and I'm not 100% sure if he pitched for the Mariners or not.
I can't say for sure on that.
Yeah.
I love the Kurt Casale guess, JT, by the way. That was the first name that came into my head as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. Jose Vizcaíno, too. These are not teams I would think about for him. We've used him for like some Yankees or Mets boxes for sure.
Denard Span has to be one of the best players to never make an all-star team.
Denard Span was good. I like Denard Span.
Yeah, I didn't know he didn't make an all-star team. That's crazy.
Go ahead, Bryce.
He'd also fit with Mariners and Nationals down the line, too, if we had to.
He does. What about Michael Morse?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know he fits Giants, he fits Nationals, and I think he played in Seattle, right?
He did.
Okay.
Yes.
We got David has been shouting on some good ones here. Jeffrey Leonard. I don't know the names of David. If you want to drop, I'd love to learn who he is. So just drop a little more on him. But yeah, it looks like Jeff also threw Michael Morse in there as well.
Jeffrey Leonard. Okay, 1977 to 1990. So 13-year career. I don't know anything about him. Tell us about Jeffrey Leonard, because we don't know. Oh, Randy Wynn. That's a name I haven't thought about in probably 15 years.
We need the daily walk-off guys. They're Mariners fans. Like, they'd probably kill this box.
Oh, yeah.
But Bill Swift. I think David just called that out. David said about Jeffrey Leonard. He had a huge homer and was famous for his one arm down home run trot. I don't like that.
I'm gonna have to look that up later because now I want to see this.
Well, do you guys want to narrow it down to a couple and let the chat kind of vote?
Yeah,
I like Jeffrey Leonard. What's another one you guys want to throw in there?
Bryce, you pick.
I got to go with Kurt Casale, player I always liked.
All right, we'll do. So, guys, just drop in the chat, Kurt Casale or Jeffrey Leonard, and we will just sort of see what people say, and we'll throw it in. I mean, those are two really good guesses.
Casale, is he he's a catcher?
Yes.
Okay. I would say like, is he a backup catcher? But I feel like so few catchers get what would be considered full-time at bats now that
I think you'd call him like a journeyman if I had to say. I had to label him something. Like a perennial minor league deal type of guy every offseason.
Yeah. I think we go Jeffrey Leonard. I think we throw in awesome shout, David. Thanks for doing that.
All right. Jeffrey Leonard. 3%.
3%. All right. Okay. All right. So we're hovering around like 5.3, somewhere in there.
Something like that. Yeah. 5.2.
We could try to keep this in single digits here. I mean, it's hard to do that when you guys are throwing out some really good guesses. It's like harder than you think. I mean, it's a good, we said last year, it's like a good problem to have, but I agree. As higher than I thought, but it's a good shot. Dodgers, Giants. How you want to go, or do you want to go out this row, or?
We could go up to Dodgers, Giants.
Okay.
First guy I think of is Jason Schmidt. Every time I see this box.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever I've thrown him before, he actually doesn't. The rarity score is decent, but I feel like there has to be better options here.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Jack Doyle from Michael. Little black and white box.
Candy Maldonado. Was he? I think I have his card in my limited collection. Did he start or play for a while in Cleveland? Anybody know this? Candy Maldonado. I feel like he did. I feel like the card I have of his, he's on Cleveland. Oh, Jeff Kent is a good one.
Just was gonna say Jeff Kent. Yeah, I mean, I think I worry about using Jeff Kent for Giants in general. Like for me, that's the team he always like associates with. But maybe it's not with Dodgers. It could be a really good one. Candy played a couple years in Cleveland.
Okay, thank you, Nate. I thought so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ryan Terrio.
Doesn't he also fit Cardinals here too? No, I'm thinking he played for the Cubs. Did he play in St. Louis? I might be mixing up my teams. I know Terrio was on the Cubs. Bill
Madlock, Casey Stengel, calling out a couple here. I mean, we seem to have a good amount of popularity for the Candyman here. So that's like right now, I'd say that's our best. A couple people are excited about that one. So
let's do. You want to just go Candy Maldonado here?
Yeah, Ross Tripling's a good one too, Brett. I think let's throw Candy. Yeah, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
0.8%.
Nice.
There we go.
Awesome. Back at it. Cool guys. Cards, Giants, or
Carlos Beltran.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the play, right?
No, it's actually that probably wouldn't be a bad one because he wasn't. I don't think he was in San Francisco very long, and I don't think he was. He might have been in St. Louis a year or two.
I know he was on I'm pretty sure he was on that 2013 St. Louis team that went to the World Series, I think.
Nate's throwing a dead ball era guy. Okay.
One of his favorites to use, Arlie or Artie.
I can't read.
Mark DeRosa. That's a good one.
Yeah, Mark DeRosa, exactly 100 career home runs. He's always interesting.
Oh, man.
Willie McGee. Am I
Yeah, so
making up that
another.
Willie McGee is one of the Cardinals Rookie of the Year players? I feel like somebody commented this a few weeks back. Like, oh, I think it was when we probably went with Pujols for Rookie of the
Yeah.
Year or some kind of award, and the comments there were a few comments like, oh, you could have used Willie McGee.
I mean, this is so we got another shot for Arlie. And it is Arlie. I mean, this doesn't help, but Brandon Crawford works here. I always forget he went to the Cardinals this year. Renteria. Yeah, that's a good one too.
Oh, that is a good one.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to go with dead ball era just because we're so bad at it on our own. Like I want to learn more of these.
Yeah. I'd be cool with that. I would say Arlie.
And there's another black and white. Michael's saying Frankie Fritsch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, Okay, thanks, David. MVP. Yeah. I knew it was one of those awards that we do poorly on category
Jack
wise.
Clark. Yeah.
Okay.
6th all time in steals. Jeez.
I didn't know that.
Wow. No. So I'm guessing he works for like a good amount of those. He's got to work for like the 30 stolen bases season kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Which is sneaky to pocket. But yeah, I learned about Arlie tonight. Let's throw him on.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, 1880 to 1909. That's a long career.
Look at that.
0.005%.
Wow.
The pinstripe hat and the mustache.
Nate, I mean,
that's crazy.
If you're gonna throw Arlie out and it's like your favorite guy, at least like warn us about this hat. I mean, this is like this is incredible.
You can't just drop that kind of stash on us without giving us
freshest man on earth.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that is.
That's amazing.
That's the highlight right there.
Arlie Latham.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Right. It'd be hard to top that. What even team would? I'm still not over it. But what team would he? What team had that hat?
I don't
even no idea.
Is anybody else noticing this, or am I crazy? That picture looks way too crisp to be for a guy who played in 1880.
It's like the actor who played him in the biopic, like 80 years later. Like
David did say Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh,
yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. Oh, Cincinnati had that hat. Are they like? Oh. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Right. Cincinnati is one of. Are they like the oldest MLB franchise? I know they're one of the oldest.
I feel like they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because don't they, or not anymore, but like back in the day, up till probably about 5-10 years ago, they would always open the season, I think, in Cincinnati because it was a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
all right, we've got a column left. So maybe work our way top to bottom. I mean,
let's go Cardinals Nationals or Cardinals Expos. Mark Grizzolonic, I think, fits here. Second, he played second for the Expos, and I believe he spent a little bit of time in St. Louis towards the end of his career, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure he fits here. And then we talked about Lester, right? Lester fits here.
Yeah, Lester fits. Yeah,
Rick Ankiel, another good one. I think we used him when we
did. We did use Rick Ankiel on your guest spot. Yeah.
Michael from the chat shouted Gary Bennett, backup catcher. I mean, we just straight up love to use backup catchers. So, as I think a lot of people do, that's a great one.
Says Mudcat Grant. Is that a black and white photo, like a dead ball era?
I don't think. I mean, you think people in the 1900s are named Mudcat or like?
I mean, it's not a current. It's not a current thing. Yeah. I can just type it in and see what the. Oh, 1958. Okay.
Stand corrected. Okay. 50s,
not as far back as I thought.
Oh, Tom Lawless, David said, was traded for Pete Rose and had an amazing bat flip in the 1987 World Series.
Was Tom Lawless, was he a guy that barely ever hit home runs, and so that's why it was really funny when he bat flipped like that? I think that was the case. If somebody in the chat could tell me.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
I think he had like no pop, and then he did that and flipped the bat all crazy.
Yeah. Oh, Luke Voigt. JT is right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. David said that. Yeah, you're right about the
Yeah.
home run. Yeah.
Okay.
A couple people have mentioned Marquis. That's a good one too.
Jason Marquis, that's a good name. The Nationals, when they signed him, they put out this commercial talking about like how he could sign anywhere, but he chose to sign in DC.
Oh
Like,
my
gosh.
It's a weird flex.
They made a commercial about a Jason Marquis signing. No disrespect to him,
wow.
but
No,
not exactly Juan Soto or something,
no.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like this is another one where we narrow it down and let the chat pick. I mean, I want to put Mudcat in there as an option.
I'd like to put
but
Lawless in there as an option too because of the story. We
yeah.
can go 3 options here too if you want.
Yeah.
But
All right. So
Um,
we got
and Brett's
Mudcat.
saying Rex Hudler, emphatically saying Rex
Yeah.
Hudler.
So let's throw him in there.
Okay.
Or Rex Hudler. Okay, Zin says Mudcat also fits for Dodgers Expos.
Oh, so we could save him.
In that case, let's save Mudcat.
All right, so Lawless or Hudler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lawless or Rex Hudler. And we'll pin it up here. So just let us know. Lawless had 2 homers and 500 career bats.
That is like home run Baker legendary.
Modern day home run Baker. Yeah, seriously. Vote for Lawless. Okay, we got Rex. So it's gonna be a tight one. Bryce, if it's a tie, you're the deciding vote, man.
Okay, I'm right. Okay.
All right. This is pretty close. I mean, Bryce, what do you think?
I'm going Lawless. I gotta go Lawless.
Yeah,
because I know that story pretty well. So
yeah, it's a great story.
All right. Tom Lawless, 0.2%.
Nice. Man, just 2 guys looking at each other's stashes like,
right?
Like
they are facing each other. It looks like.
Yeah. That should be the screen grab we put up for this episode. It's just the 2 mustaches.
All right. So Nats Dodgers, like Zin said, Mudcat
fits here.
Works because of the Expos.
I think Gredzalonic might fit here too. I think he played for the Dodgers. John Candelaria.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to bypass the obvious Scherzer, Trey Turner.
Yep.
You know what actually might be a sneaky answer here? Not that people aren't aware of him. Keibert Ruiz, I think, had single digit at bats with the Dodgers before he got traded to the Nationals. Like he was one of their big. I mean, how many? Also, just as an aside, and this is just a testament to how good the Dodgers are as an organization. But how many big catching prospects have they had? They had Keibert Ruiz. You've got Will Smith. I think who's the other guy down there now? Diego Cartaya. Is that?
Yeah, that does ring a bell.
Like they're just churning out like all these guys.
Mm-hmm. A name that fits here for me that I thought of, and I don't think a lot of people liked him. Matt Latos, starting pitcher. He played for the Nationals and the Dodgers at one point. I also saw Cesar Torres, and I always shout him out. My first ever MLB game was an Orioles game, and he was in the starting lineup, and so I always remember him too. That's a good.
Nice.
I think he was a sneaky all-star at one point. I think he made an all-star team.
I think you're right because I think we just put up something not that long ago. It might have been Grid 22. Angels All-Star was one of the boxes, and I think a couple people threw Torres in there in the comments on Instagram.
Yeah. Kevin shouted out Brian Dozier and Pedro, both really good shouts.
That's right.
I would say Joey Gallo, but like Yankees fans have had it. And you've had it hard enough. Like, I mean, I'm not even going to mention the man's name. That's a cool bit about Mudcat. I know he's David says one of the few African American 20-game winners, much less well known for Expos Dodgers than his time with the Twins in Cleveland.
Okay, I
It's
do
cool.
like taking players who are much better known elsewhere and then finding those like lesser known teams
Yeah.
combinations for them.
I like Mudcat. I
Mudcat's
think
got to be one
yeah.
of our final if we're throwing this out, to
Yeah.
narrowing it down.
Man, there's
Gonna
a
do
lot of good other ones on here too.
Don Stanhouse.
Maybe let's do Mudcat and his
His
tourists.
tourist. Yeah.
Yeah, so so just let us know which one we throw for this box, Mudcat or his tourist. I mean, both I think are going to score
Seeing a couple
pretty well.
former Mets on here. Brian Dozier had a less than memorable stint with the Mets at the end of his career. By the way, so many guys have ended their career on the Mets where it was like they were not that Dozier was like all world, but he had a bunch of 40 homer seasons and
Yeah.
was pretty respectable second baseman for a while. And then he went to the Mets and then you never heard of him again. Like so many
Yeah.
guys like that finished their career with like a whimper in their last season with the Mets.
Yeah. I think Mudcat is the guy.
Without a doubt.
All right.
I think it's Mudcat. Yeah.
Mudcat Grant. 0.08%.
There we go.
Yeah.
That seems to be the right call. Very good.
Hey, before we hit this last box, I mean, if you've stayed this long, thank you. This is like a ton of fun to do this. We're gonna try to do these once a month. Just like fun ways. Clearly, we're learning about players we didn't know. I'm gonna plug one more time. Like first off, like Bryce has a phenomenal podcast, MLB Hall of Good podcast. If you don't follow him on socials, go do that. And then you can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, right?
Anywhere.
If people haven't listened to your podcast, like, give a little like shout for what they might hear.
Essentially, it's just all about covering players that I grew up with who I feel are never talked about or are really underrated. Like, for example, it's players like, Ike Davis, Derek Barton, guys kind of like that. We cover individual seasons before too, like Will Middlebrooks' rookie season was really good, Red Sox third baseman. Just random names like that. I just sit down and I'm like, oh, I remember him when I was growing up. And so I put him on. I've covered like Ben Revere, Scott Kazmir, guys like that before, just players that I grew up loving.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Bryce, like, it's always a blast having you on.
Thank you.
Also, we see a lot of familiar names. So like, if you already follow us, thank you. If you don't, like, Mike and I are trying to cook up some like good stuff for the off season. Got a couple guests that I think are really cool names, and like the more subscribers we have, the easier it is, to like peek behind the curtain. The easier it is to sometimes make those asks for people to come on and grid with us. So like, if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, like, we'd love if you consider doing it. Follow us on Instagram. We'll drop the handles at the bottom here, but like, we just really appreciate you spending a Thursday night, let alone Halloween, with us.
Right.
Like, yeah. what I miss.
I mean, I'm not giving too much away, but we're, obviously to this point we've done grids. Everything we do is still going to be grid centric, but we've got an episode coming up in November, probably a couple weeks from now, right? Where we're kind of reflecting on the season. So keep an eye out for that. We're not actually filling out a grid, but we're talking about guys you can use on the grid based on stuff that happened this year. So
Nice.
subscribe to, and what is it? The ratings help on Spotify too, right? Like,
it's true. Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't ask for it if it didn't have like an actual impact, but the more of those like ratings follows, it helps other people like yourself like find the show, and then we'll learn about Mudcat Grant more often. So yeah. All right, so we close it out. Like,
let's close it out. Yeah, Mariners, Nationals, or Expos. So we threw Mike Morse out there before. I think he fits here. And I know I would have to scroll back. If you've thrown out a Mariners Nats guy earlier in the chat, if you wouldn't mind just reiterating, so I don't have to scroll up and find it, because I know there were probably a couple. Randy Johnson, yes, obviously. Rene Rivera is backup catcher, which is one of our favorite types of players to put on the grid.
I like the Indy Chavez guess. One of the best one of the best catches I've ever seen. I know it was with the Mets.
That just brings me right back. That was the team that should have. Nope. I'm not gonna.
Denard Span called out here too. Spike Owen. Adam Dorowski from Baseball Reference. We used Spike. We were talking about Red Sox.
Mariners, yeah.
And I think, Zin, you mentioned Mark Langston, who's like Adam's favorite guy to throw on the grid. I mean, if it's not like Julio Franco. So, let's not go down the 06 road today.
Too late.
So Spike is a good one. Spike Owen, I would say, definitely.
Yeah, Spike Owen is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Does D. Strange Gordon fit here?
He does, yes.
Yeah. Oh, he would have fit Dodgers too, actually. The only reason I thought of him is because Justin threw Spike D. Owen. Oh, and that made me think of D. Gordon.
I mean, we've got one, two, maybe I'm counting a couple other ones. Several shots for Spike. I would say that's the top one right here to close out with. But I'm open to other ideas. But Spike Owen is probably going to be a pretty solid one here.
Yeah, I'd say he's the heavy favorite based on just a quick scan of the chat here. Owen is a good one. And it's a couple. Denard Span has resurfaced again. Denard Span was good.
Let's do Spike Owen or let's see who's another name here who surfaced a couple times. Probably Denard Span.
Morse. Either of those would work. I'm cool with either.
So yeah, I mean, comment and we'll go with the consensus, but close this grid out with Spike or Denard Span.
Do we still have a shot at? I think we still have a shot at single digits, right? Yeah,
it's close. I think we do. Yeah.
Thanks to Arlie up there with the .005.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, I'm with you, man. These are both going to be great. Got a couple spikes. Yeah, I think we go with Spike Owen and close it out.
There it is. The people have spoken. Spike Owen to finish this out.
I think Spike will give us a better score.
Yeah,
I hope so. Oh, do you want to guess what our final score is going to be?
I can't do that math, man.
It's a pointless task, but I'm curious. I'm going to say we're going to get a 7.
I'm going with 8.
8.
I was going to say 8. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Spike Owen.
Yeah.
8%.
We'll take that.
Spike was 1%. Beautiful.
Yeah, nice. I think Kevin summed it up here. We're all gonna go to bed feeling good after seeing the grid. I mean, hey man, that's I mean, good work today, guys.
Single digit grid. We got an 8. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hidden gems. A couple real deep dives with Arlie Latham and Mudcat Grant with a very low rarity score.
Yeah, is what we
not only did we Mattis it, Nate. Yeah. We are in rarefied air territory, which I mean, and we realize people are posting, like you said, Josh, multiple times. People are posting on Twitter sub 2 grids. That's not what we are really good at, but single digits we're calling rarefied air. So that fits the 8 fits here.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, we covered a really nice span of players here, and no, there are no current players. Not only are there no current players, there's nobody who's even remotely close to having recently played. I would say.
I was going to say, did anybody even play past 2000 on this stuff?
No, maybe Candy Maldonado, maybe.
Yeah, this is
Candy Maldonado. Nope, he ended his career in '95. So yeah.
This is a blast. We'll do it again. So, subscribe on the channels and we'll let you know when the next stream is. But we post this content as much as we can. You'll see daily videos on Instagram. We pretty much, we grid a lot. So, a ton of fun. We plugged the channels, I think. And Bryce, thanks again. This is just blast to have you on.
Yeah,
always good to
I
have you.
appreciate it. Yeah, I love doing Immaculate Grid. It's even better doing it with a bunch of people too.
Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Then until next time, Mike. What I mean, yeah.
I mean, stay ordinary. That's that's all we're doing over here is just staying ordinary.
We're staying very ordinary.
I'm making this
so,
a thing.
Yeah, we're committed to it. We're committed to it. But yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for watching. Yeah.
Thank you,
All
guys.
right.